Yeah, they're like, dude, who are you, brother? Who are you? I'm from the shelter. We're deep here. Last time I was there, I got involved with this incident with a mental patient. Like, I'm like, dude, this is crazy.
Crazy.
Dude. I got him on the table. He's telling me to suck as you know what. I'm like, dude, why do I get into it with the most bugs? And then you got to do something. You don't get no points for that,
I know,
dude.
but
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
You're damn that
and
you
they
do
charge you now. I'm like, dude, you're charging me for this? Like, dude didn't even get hurt or nothing. Like I dragged him by his braid. He had a braid. But, dude, I didn't hurt him, dude. And it wasn't like I booted him and stuff. You know what I mean? It had to be done, bro, what he did, dude. You know, he burnt me for like $10.
Oh, gee. See, yeah.
It's like you're getting nothing. I'm like, open my door for the plunger now. Dude, they opened my door, man. I'm like, I don't know why they opened my door. They must not know who I am yet. I look at him, dude. He does it again. The tray goes up the wall, man. I fall. So I get up. I start scrapping with him, dude. One of the other staff, dude, grabs me in a full Nelson, man. Lifts me in the air, beat, and sweep kicks my legs, man, and just comes down. That's why I had all that rug burn. Threw me on a short bus, dude, and just said, beat the kid, dude. Sent me on an hour ride with a dislocated shoulder, man. I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. And I got shot, you know. I was dead for like 7 minutes. That feeling, you know, just being just gone. You're done, you're gone, you know what I mean?
You got a moment when they see you down, just know they love it.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Bounce Back Podcast. I'm your host, B. Luke. I got a very special guest with me today, man. My best friend growing up, man, and a really good friend to this day, man. Pretty much family at this point. Family, grew up with family. Our dads were pretty close, like the neighborhood thing. But we're gonna get into all that stuff, bro. So why don't you tell the people your name, where you're from, and a little bit about yourself, bro?
Mikey Reardon from East Cambridge. I grew up Roosevelt Towers, you know, young growing up in Cambridge and stuff like that. In Roosevelt Towers, there was times like it was difficult. I was white. All my friends, you know, were African American, you know. So growing up, I would try to like fit in and stuff. So, you know, I would have issues in that regard, you know, growing up in the bullying and stuff like that. I'd have to fight my best friends every day, Jermaine and Jamal.
For the people who don't know, like Roosevelt Towers, what is that, right? What is that?
Project on Cambridge Street in Cambridge. But yeah, I wasn't around when they had the slaughterhouse. I don't even remember the junkyard. Right. I mean, I'm 40 years old. The slaughterhouse was before my time.
It's like out there. We're here behind Roosevelt Towers. You know, I like to consider it East Cambridge. It's debatable though, because the old school people who tell you it starts at the tracks, but bringing back a lot of memories, kid.
Still looks like shit.
Love it, right?
Yeah, right? Look at our garden. Fucking tire garden.
The ghetto garden.
Pickup truck garden.
Housing project. So it's like Section 8 kind of, you know, welfare. You growing up on food stamps type of deal, bro, right? Like what's the household like?
My mom had me young. So, you know, my mother, you know, had her own issues and stuff like that. And, you know, she wasn't ready for a kid, you know, but it is what it is. And I don't want to get into details, but, you know, everybody's household was how it was, you know what I mean? Everybody went through tough times. I mean, my father left my household also when I was young, and it affected me a lot.
Do you have like, do you like remember them being together like real young? Like, I don't really remember like.
No, not much, really. No, my dad worked a lot, and, you know, my mother, you know, cheated on him and just treated him like crap, you know, from what you know what I mean? So my own eyes.
What about as far as like siblings and all that, bro? Was it just you in the house? Did you have any brothers and sisters?
Just me. I do got a brother, a half brother, but just me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was close with my cousin Tommy. You know, we go our different ways. You know what I mean? I still love him, but, you know, grew up with him really. That's it. For the most part. So
that's in the household though, but what about like in Roosevelt Towers, right? Did you have family that lived in the same housing project? How did that?
My whole family lived there. My grandmother, my father. So my father's side, my mother's side lived in the same hallway.
Crazy.
Yeah, they lived in the same hallway. That's all the family that lived there.
So you had like uncles and aunts and everybody.
Yeah.
Like, so like talk about like how it was like as far as that, like with having so much family, so like in such a close proximity. That could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing. I mean, I guess
it was a good thing. My Nana Grace, God rest her soul, you know, was everything to me. You know what I mean? her and her house is everything. It felt like family, you know, Sunday dinner, you know what I mean? That's the last time I actually really like felt family, you know, like that. But my mother's grandmother, it's a whole different story, you know. Locking soda up, you know, you got that. Remember that? They sold those things that would make noise in the refrigerator. It would dime you out. Like if you opened the fridge, they had like a pig. It would oink. It would be like oink, oink.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Out, yo. And my step-grandfather,
trying to get a snack.
He's Italian, yeah. And like, yo, he wouldn't even want you in the fridge, dude. He'd scream at you for being in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I really... Like as far as all my mothers, it's like there's nothing, you know, and it is what it is, you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
like you know, you know my whole life, and like I raised myself for the most part, you know what I mean?
And so a lot of times too, like growing up, you know, poor is what comes. A lot of times what comes with that, let's just face it, is like incarceration and getting locked up and all that. So like you growing up, like did you have family members getting locked up? Like my dad was locked up for a little bit. Like your uncles or
my dad stayed out of trouble, but my uncle Stevie too, God rest his soul. He was always in and out of jail. I mean, he called coming home a vacation. Like, then he's the one that, you know, was there for me when I was going through, you know, my situation when I had to do some time. You know what I mean?
So like,
but that was it really. My uncle, my father and stuff like that was just a working guy. You know, he didn't get in trouble like that.
So like, at what age are you? Like when, like, is this just your whole life where Stevie's in and out, or is this a little later? So is this just like a normal thing? Like,
yeah, I only remember him for like knocking the tree over one Christmas, and he tried getting another tree and putting another one up, and like, dude, he got ratted out by one of my aunts or someone told on him or something like that. Something happened, but he wanted to put a new tree up before they got home, but no one was trying to help him do it. And they're like, he should recognize it anyway. You know what I mean? He's gonna know what the tree. But that, you know, my uncle, man, good guy though, man. Like, you know, he was there for me during a time where I needed someone too, and like I was shocked that he even did it because he was locked up at the time. I needed some more bail money, and like, you know, the guy's never really had people there for him.
Yeah.
All the time he's done and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I was gonna say, talk about that, like him being in and out. I remember he would come out all jacked and stuff like that, but like, would he ever, like, what was like the game he would give you? Like, how did he talk about prison and jail? Was it like in a sense of like, kids stay out of trouble, or was it like something, you know, maybe sometimes we laugh about and joke?
Yeah, he'd be like, Neff, you know, you don't wanna do this, man, you know what I mean? Like, but you know, man, when I was young, you know, when we were young, man, you couldn't talk to me, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Right.
Like, you know, I was such a knucklehead that there was no telling me nothing. That's why I had to learn everything the hard way and do it all the hard way, because there was nothing you could tell me.
Was there ever a point that maybe like subconsciously maybe you like idolized that about like him, or not even really, didn't even look at it that way, just kind of did your own?
Yeah, I didn't really look at it like that. I'm more of the type of like, I don't know, when I hit a certain age, I'm more like a leader, try to be a leader type. I don't know. Yep, maybe it's because I'm a Scorpio or something, but it's just a thing. Like, that's why I clash with like alphas. Like, I clash with people that are like try to be too alpha.
Yeah, and what do you think that stems from? I mean, like looking back, I mean, if you were to dissect that.
The bullying too.
Yeah.
The bullying, like when I was younger, man, I don't want to really call it bullying, dude. I'd scrap too, but there'd be times where, like, you know, I wasn't always like I always was, you know, and there was times, dude, I didn't want to beef. I didn't want to fight, dude. I didn't want to scrap with kids that I knew, you know, but when I grew up in the projects, dude, that's what we did, dude. Yeah. That's it. Cracks and jokes came out. The older kid was hanging with us, would be like, "Oh, your mother," and you know what I mean. And then we're beefing, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like that was how it always went, and the jokes always just seemed to come my way. Always kind of seemed. Just over time.
When you're the one thing that's not like the other one, it's easy to kind of pick on someone if it's different.
Yeah,
but, you know.
Yeah, you know. So, and my house was kind of like, my family was a little bit more louder too. So like. You know, when your family does something in the project, they put it on blast.
So like back in the day, people think of projects in like Charlestown and Southie like being predominantly like white and Irish. So like, what was the the breakdown in Roosevelt Towers? Was it mostly black? Was it a little bit split?
Me growing up, mostly African American, mostly black. When I grew up in Roosevelt Towers, back in the
90s.
day and stuff like that, whole nother story, whole nother ball game. I can't speak on that.
Yep.
And then there was a time where it was mixed too, where you had my Uncle Kenny, Dave White, you had all them other dudes. It was like a mixture, but you had like Ralphie Gray, Derek Brown. They had all these other guys, you know what I mean? So.
And wasn't there rumors like the riots back in the day? Was that something that seemed like that's something that's brought up a lot with your family, and like was your family involved with that? Because you had both sides of your family, but not just, it's not like they all just moved there. They're probably there for a couple of generations.
Yeah,
at
my
least.
Uncle Artie was in it. It was way before my time, but my Uncle Artie, God rest his soul, but he was off the wall. He was off the chain, and he was involved in it. You know what I mean? He jumped out the window or something, but like. Machete or something. He was in it. Yeah, that was way before. You know what I mean? They supposedly took some guy's life in the paddy wagon. They beat him to death. That's how it went down, supposedly, from what my dad tells me.
So there's a long history there too, especially with your family. A lot of my family was over there hanging out and doing a lot of similar stuff too. But I mean, when you're not fighting, right? You're not just hanging out with random people. These kids probably like somewhat your friends. You guys at least have some fun together. What kind of things were you doing when you weren't fighting to have fun in the project? I mean, we come from the era before technology, bro.
These kids nowadays wouldn't have a clue. Like we did Relivio, man, Running Man, Fish Cross My Ocean. Like, dude, think of like cigarette brands in your head and a person stands in the middle because we had that sprinkler there, and you stand in the middle, you call out the name brands. If it's your name brand, you got to try to cross. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, we played Relivio a lot, Running Man. I remember they'd be looking for me. I'd be in my fucking room fucking playing Super Nintendo because you could cut through all the hallways and they were all unlocked.
Yeah. Oh, I remember.
So like RVT, you would be able to zip through buildings.
I remember working with the mayor's program with the maintenance guys there, and just like the basements, they had all sorts of shortcuts popping up in the apartments from way over the other side.
That project, it's a little project, but it was back in the day. That place wasn't like, I'm not gonna sit there and say like it's like fucking Harlem, but it wasn't not you know what I mean? Yeah. It was a project.
Absolutely.
It was infested with roaches.
Roaches,
oh
rats.
My God, man! It didn't matter how even clean. Like my family, how apartment was always clean. There's nothing you could do, man.
And then you had the junkyard right there,
beetles,
bro.
The black beetles that would crawl up the walls. We brought a kid from East Boston out there. He was crying. Kid Jonathan crying, yo.
Yeah,
the Beatles. He was crying, dude.
That's nuts.
And that Terrence's mother's like, get this. I don't want to say the word, you know what I mean? But get this pee out of here.
And that's when they that's before, because they did like a big renovation at some point, right, during our childhood.
So
was that before that? Is that why they did that? Probably infested.
Yeah, that, and it was there's a lot of shit going on in there. So they did raids. They raided people who they wanted out, redid one building, did a lottery. We made the lottery, like a few of us, old school, like Terrence stayed, I stayed, Jermaine Jamal stayed, Vanell stayed, you know what I mean?
And you had the little store right there too.
Yeah, Towers
Willows,
Market, that was Cal. So Cal's mom used to own that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know Cal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he'll name whatever school you went to, what year you graduated.
Absolutely. He used to do that on the reg. Be like, called the Haiti Moore School 99 or something, bro. Like, how do you know this stuff?
Man.
Well, it's good times though. But also too, man, like the park was right there, Donnelly Field. Was that somewhere you guys like went a lot?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. We ran ball down there if we weren't playing off the light. We used to just hit the light.
I remember they had the handball wall back in the day.
We used to use the Bradley's basketball hoops that you hang on your door. We used to put that on the non-loitering sign, and we would use that as our hoop.
Absolutely.
They would put a hoop over there in that parking lot in the back of RVT, but the older dudes would dunk on it with carriages, and they would break it. So we always had to go to Donnelly Field to run ball.
Yeah, absolutely. What about hockey? Did you stop playing hockey? Or was that like the Harrington school?
Them are the sports you couldn't afford.
Cost a little bit of money.
Couldn't afford, man. We didn't get, you know what I mean? I played the cheap sports. I played baseball and I played basketball, man.
Yeah. Did you play like organized ball a lot? I feel like most of the ball I've played was literally just like Hanging playground or like jail?
I played in men's league. You know, I used to be real into ball. I used to be good, man. I consider myself. Now I step on the court, I'm like, dude, what happened?
Absolutely. So let's get into when did you start getting in trouble? I know, I mean, for most people, it starts in school. For me, it started with school before it ever turned into like trouble with the law. So I guess when did you first start getting in trouble, man? And
when I was young, man, I was always like a wild kid. You know what I mean? I had outburst problems and stuff like that. I couldn't. ADHD, I couldn't, you know what I mean, handle it and stuff. So I did have like problems, you know what I mean, in the school system. Schools didn't want me. I mean, I got thrown out of probably just about every school there is almost, I hate to say, in Cambridge, you know.
What kind of things were you getting in trouble for? Like everything from like swearing, fighting,
man.
everything?
Yeah, everything, man.
Everything
I was a hard
battle.
kid. Yeah, I was a hard kid, man. I really didn't have structure, man, like growing up, you know. That was the main thing. I didn't have any. You know? And like my dad left my household, so it was just.
What do you think that was? Do you think that was like your way of getting attention, or like a subconscious cry for help, man, or just was it like was it the ADD and just?
I don't know, man. I don't know. No? I don't know. I was young, man. I don't have answers to it. You know what I mean? But then, you know, my mom had me wrapped up in all these doctors and like kind of Munchausen syndrome type of thing for a check, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like all medications, you know how it goes, man.
Yeah, so like at what age does that stop? Because
that was
I never
young,
really
man. That was like, you know, young, man. Like grammar school, young.
And what's that process like? How do they do they ask you? I feel like I was like asked certain questions, but I always felt like I just told them like what they wanted to hear. So like
them pictures, they show you whatever. Photos. I don't know if you ever did that test.
I think I did. Photos,
and they say, "What do you think that looks like?" And it's like a squish bug. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, you know, even when I was younger, like I daydreamed at school, and they like reported I had staring seizures, and like I had to get these EKGs and like.
And how, like, what grade is this now? Like,
young,
real young.
Probably like third grade. Yeah, third grade, fourth grade. You know, I went through all that stuff, man. I went to hospitals, testings, just stuff that, like.
I mean, I didn't get on, like, I got on, like, some depression meds, like, later on in life and all that stuff. And they tell you, like, don't just stop taking them all of a sudden. And it feels, but I just feel like the years of, like, especially that's, like, your child development years. Do you think there's something to do with that, like, maybe in the brain, too? Like, going off and on meds, you know? A lot of times these things are just put out there. Like, I mean, look at the Oxy situation.
Yeah, you just get guinea pigged, man. There's no cure. There's no cure. Everybody has an opinion. There's all opinions. There's just no cure for it. Like, the lack of, like, mental, it's just. I think it's more just all about money. It's just my opinion. You know what I mean? They talk to you for about 10 minutes, and it's just like, how are you doing? You know, I'm dealing with it. You know, I'm chugging along for me and my family and my kids, man. I'm staying strong. I'm not ever gonna give up. You know, on this road's been a long, hard road, but I ain't giving up. And that's to anyone out there, you guys. I'm telling you now, if I could do it, any of you could do it. It's just, you know, you got to put more of your, you know, your negative into positive and push and fight, you know. As much as fighting I've done, like I told B, putting that fighting into more positive stuff instead of negative stuff, man. It's
absolutely. It's like that energy is there. It's just how we channel it.
Because there's so many people out there trying to take you down, man. Talking, just like people online, dude, talking shit. Like, that shit's the most disgusting thing. Like, bitch, excuse my language, shit, dude. I've ever, like, you know, you don't got nothing nice. Don't say nothing at all.
No,
don't look at it. Don't read it.
Absolutely.
But, dude, with all this, like, get a life, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's just the stuff, you know? Because we come from an era, it ain't like that. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, it was different. I feel like it was different stakes, too, because you had to say stuff to people in person, right? So, you know, people might think twice. So, like, people get this false sense of security online, especially if it's just some random dude from a random town. And even though it's Massachusetts, small still, like, there's, you know, I mean, there's millions of people probably in the whole state. You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
And we come from, like, you would think, like, you know, I heard the other day listening to you and Matt, you're like, you know, I'm over respectful, man. I'm all about respect, dude. I'm all about it, man. And really, for me to disrespect somebody, they're gonna have to really disrespect me. Like, I'm never, because I know what it's like to be touched. These dudes don't know what it's like to be touched, like to be moved on, to have something happen, to something tragically happen, something bad happen. And then everyone's a tough guy till someone gets hurt, and then someone gets hurt and they're calling the cops on you. It's like a book. You read that book a million times, man. It's like, I ain't reading that book no more.
Absolutely,
I'm good with that book.
I mean, that's you say that now, but you've come a long way too, because back in the day you were kind of quick to react sometimes too, and quick to move and not really think things through like maybe a lot of us did. But
I'm lucky, we're lucky, man. We're lucky, man.
Yeah.
Between the breaks we've caught, you know what I mean? Like, we're lucky, man.
Absolutely.
Like, free JoJo, like, that post, like, it could happen to anyone. Absolutely. It can happen to any of us, getting jammed up at the wrong place at wrong time or anything. Like, even me, you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely, bro.
But
so
we've learned from, our mistakes. It just took longer sometimes.
Absolutely. Some people got to learn the hard way. I always say I learned by messing up.
Yeah,
like, wait, I got to mess up once or twice.
Own,
yeah. But even to the extent where, like, most people just mess up maybe with, like, doing something like this, losing the video, we go, whatever, something happening like that. But we messed up to the extent where it's like we had to do years in prison. Like, that's how much we're fucking hard-headed and knuckle-headed, and a lot of that was things instilled in us, too. It's just the city life, like you said, Cambridge isn't Harlem or nothing like that, but there's still a lot going on in the city with, drugs and violence and a lot of it, like,
punks.
is in the family, bro.
Yeah, there's not.
And a lot of times, too, at school, too, people talk, like you said, it's the whole your mama jokes and all this crazy stuff, bro. There's been times, man, I've overreacted, man, all sorts of crazy stuff, and got in fights, and then going to alternative school. Like, when did that happen for you? I remember you did the whole Fire Academy thing. Did they switch you up?
They threw me out. I got into a situation with a kid playing football there, and I hooked off on him, and then the whole school was trying to fight me, bro.
Yeah.
I got suckered by some other dude. The whole school, I had a staff member that worked there, like, catching my back, They wouldn't let me use the phone. I'm trying to use the phone, get dudes down there.
Yeah.
They're like, don't let them use the phone.
Wow.
But literally, I had the whole squad. I was in the middle of Central Square squabbling with a couple dudes. That's when, I don't mention names, but dude knows.
Yeah.
Who I got into it with that situation.
No, absolutely.
If he's listening, he knows. We've had a few.
Absolutely. That's how it goes sometimes, man. Shout out to him.
Teddy.
Absolutely. But so what's that, day one? So, like, what's next? They try to send you to another school, and this is like getting kicked out of Harrington, I guess, to go there?
I was kicked out of Harrington twice. I went to Harrington twice.
I went to
the King.
What happened after
Peabody.
Fire Academy? What was that?
I went to Compass.
Okay.
And JP.
Okay, so talk about
That's
that.
when I used to meet up with you when you went to ABCD.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
When we won the title, we were in that basketball tournament.
How was Compass? Because I feel like a lot of times that's
Compass was ghetto.
That's when I started getting.
Compass was ghetto.
Yeah.
Compass was great. I used to only go when they would only keep me for basketball games. Yeah, they used to be like, dude, Mikey, you're blasted. When I used to blaze before I go. But the only time when he would keep me if we had basketball games. We only had like 5 dudes. Our starting 5 would be like, because there was DYS committed kids who went there, so it would be a different group of kids.
Yeah.
The only one other kid that I balled with that stayed was this kid Shahid, but everyone else.
And was it kids, a lot of kids from Cambridge in there? Where most of the kids from?
All Boston kids.
All Boston. Yeah, that was similar when I went to ABCD.
Yeah.
There was like 1 or 2 of Cambridge kids, Kevin Diaz, rest in peace, and it was mostly Boston dudes, and you know what I mean. And then I started to know a little bit about Boston culture with all because we stayed in Cambridge, so and then we went to juvie and all that. That's when I started to get into all that stuff.
That's when we all caught on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So talk about that. Like when does juvie start? Like is that like what age are you, bro?
It was young. It was what? They gave me a lot of breaks too because I was small. I was always a small kid, so they always gave me my fair share of breaks.
In and out a lot?
Yeah, not really. I just done, the ones I've done have been like decent, you know what I mean? But not too much, I went in for 2 weeks, how they used to do the 2-week thing.
Yeah.
And then
I
got committed right before I was 17.
Okay.
And then I did a 3 to 5 months because they go by months on the chart. And I did Brighton Treatment Center, BTC. I came home and then I was 17. That's when Kaz dropped a dime on me and everything.
And then you caught that adult case. What was, I remember once you came home with like a dislocated shoulder, you were ready to call fucking D&M Schumann or something with the lawsuit.
So listen, I should be rich. So I was in custody of Department of DCF. I was in a residential. I went to day school there, but I did live there before for like 2.5 years, you know what I mean? I'm standing on a lunch tray, and one of the staff out of nowhere, man, just kicks the back of my leg, but it doesn't do nothing the first one. I look at him, dude, he does it again. The tray goes up the wall, man, I fall. So I get up, I start scrapping with him, dude. One of the other staff, dude, grabs me in a full Nelson, man, lifts me in the air, and sweep kicks my legs, man, and just comes down. That's why I had all that rug burn. Dude, they threw me on a short bus, dude, and just said, "Be the kid,
That's
dude,
crazy.
send me on an hour ride with a dislocated shoulder, man." And I'll tell you, man, that pain, boy, I was whacking that thing off the window, man. That's a crazy lawsuit, dude. Then they ran away and let go of the case, and but that was a crazy lawsuit that nobody ever pursued. Like, if that happened to my kid, forget it.
There's no follow through.
Dude, I go nuts to any of my kids that ever happened
but
to.
That's
it
what's,
would be on, dude.
That stands out to me a lot with the like you know, you
They
see,
don't
you
restrain
see people get bundled.
Procedure,
yeah,
dude.
and they're kids, bro. A lot of kids are small.
Dudes, they ain't checking these dudes, Corey's. You're in there with dudes that are like street, like goons, like it's just like DYS staff, dude. It's dudes from their hoods and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I seen a dude in DYS, dude, in Hillside. I seen a staff member pick a dude up, body to body him, dude, and on his way down, because the kid had size, snapped his leg.
Damn. Did you hear it?
And he was like, "Yo, get up, you know, little ninja."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Dude, and left
That's
him
a grown
there.
man, yeah.
Bro, they had to call the ambulance. He literally, dude, he broke the dude's leg, bro.
I remember seeing that.
I don't know if you were in Hillside. Were you ever in Hillside?
I never made it to Hillside, but I remember that dude. I think they called him Big Show or something like that in MD or something like that.
Yeah, he was in Charlestown.
Is that what it was? Yeah, them dudes. Seen him bundle some kid who was like 13. Yeah. It's just you think of it, it's like that's just so unnecessary, bro. Like looking back, bro.
Tossed me, this dude Terrence. Grabbed me by the back. I went sliding. I hit the side of the couch.
Yeah, and that just like jail, that furniture don't move too. And DYS, those places are built. You know, at least those newer places like Metro Gym was built like that.
You know, you can't really, restrain to a kid who's like 16, 15. What are you gonna do? You're gonna need like a decent amount of grown men, dude. You know? So most of the times, like them incidents, them were like squabbles with grown men, dude. Yeah. So like, dude, we were beefing. You gotta remember when we were fighting grown men at like ages of like 14.
I know, it's crazy.
Dude.
I know, because I look at these dudes now and I know for a fact they're like 50. So I like this is not like that's not an exaggeration. Like, so that's like a good 10 years. But it was what it was. We thought we were grown.
It trained you to be tougher,
I mean, we definitely didn't like fear anyone like our age when we were like beefing with grown men, and a lot of dudes that were like pretty street dudes too, bro.
No, I'm glad. That's what I mean. I'm glad things never ever got to a point where like life or death or something. God forbid. I'm glad that never happened, man. Because like now that we're older and we look back at all that stuff, like come on,
it's all pointless and for nothing, right?
And Cambridge is like a money thing, but a lot of situations, were dragged into, from other people, and you know how I was, dude. If I rock with you, man, I rock with you, man. Like if you got a problem with, you got a problem with me. I'm not. That's how we were, bro. You know what I mean? Like, if anybody, dude, like, you know what I mean? You were my right hand man. So if anybody was trying to, it was on.
Yeah. Absolutely,
I hate to say it, even from our neighbor, anyone. I wasn't, you and your brother, like my brothers do.
Absolutely, bro. Like, we all, like I said, we all family, man. That's it. That's how it is at this point. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But we ended up as we got our cliques, brother. Always, we were, but East wasn't as strong as East once was. Bro.
Right.
There was a time we were carrying that shit.
Yeah.
Literally, bro, we were carrying it because I'm not tooting my own horn, but we were. That place would have got ransacked by dudes.
A lot of times too, it worked out where it was like alternating. I was in, you were out, out. I was in, Joe, me and my brother, and then out the DYS and all that stuff too, bro. Shit happens, man. Yeah. It's like fucking Nick Camerata, rest in peace, man. Like I was in DYS when that shit went down, when he caught that case, man. Bro, man. Rest in peace to him.
He was a man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Rest in peace to Nick, man. I mean, that's what I mean. How many we've lost, and just like
And then we noticed too, like, so now this brings us up now the juvie. This is around that time where the OCs start to hit our neighborhood, bro, right? Like, and what do you remember about that, bro? Like, I know there's a lot looking back.
I always hanged with the older kids, you know that.
Yeah.
I always had the end too because of my cousin Tommy. So,
yeah.
I mean, just seeing them all like. You know, like I told you before, like we didn't have role models that would be like, yo, you want a day's work, guys? Come on, I got a place to teach. Like I didn't start learning to use screw guns and stuff until I was old, bro. It's embarrassing, you know? I don't really like to, but I don't care, you know, it is what it is, man. People want to, I don't care, like screw your opinion. If it's negative, I don't care, you know, but it's like, shit, that's how it was, bro, you know?
And like, it was just crazy for us too, because it was like, those are the dudes, like, I feel like I looked up to them, you know, the older kids from the neighborhood probably more so than I should have and all that stuff. But to see, like, them dudes were on top for a little bit. Like, remember, we would be out there on the wall. They were like 19. Young kids, bro.
I mean, we used to be deep out there, man. You go through there, man, there would be like 50. The dude were deep, bro. We'd be all over the place, man. It's crazy. You go out there now, it's a ghost town. Yeah. I wish sometimes, but sometimes I don't wish because I think if our neighborhood was the way it was, dude, follow the feds with it, you know what I mean?
I know, we kind of we were out there kind of doing our thing, bro, like almost with a free pass,
and
bro.
And it just would have got more intense. Yeah. It would have just got intensified. You know, more.
Escalates.
It would have just got, you know, thank God it was just it died off. Our neighborhood died off.
Just seeing, you know, people start to, you know, kind of the OCs and the epidemic, the opioid epidemic start to come through the neighborhood and all that stuff too.
It came and hit us late though too. You know? That's what I mean. Like we got it late, believe it or not. But yeah, seeing all them dudes that are, you know what I mean, like sick or like just seeing it, but.
Well, even just seeing like some of these dudes like nodding out, I feel like there was a point where me and you had to look at each other and kind of be like, yo, I guess it's just us because a lot of them dudes were kind of really.
Yeah, that's when our neighborhood, like, you know, we never got like. Dude, you would never catch us slacking, dude. Never. And you know me, I was on point out there, dude. But, like, you know, when dudes got caught snoozing out there that time, man, like, that would have never...
Dudes are nodding out and getting ran up on the beef.
Dude, and you're taking a nap, bro. We can't do that. But, you know, like, that is when I knew it was, like, us and that, like, it was sad, but I wish it didn't happen like that, you know what I mean? Because... they all are good dudes and smart, man. You know what I mean?
And they were just kids.
It comes with
they were kids
life.
Too, just kids a little older than us. They were not they weren't 40-year-olds.
You know, you're around something and stuff, man. It takes a very strong-willed person to be around something, man, and not do it.
Yeah,
like,
you don't gotta tell me. Yeah, I know.
You're moving fucking thousands or something, like, and you're seeing people, and you're hearing about it. And I mean, you take a very strong-willed person. You know what I'm saying?
And it's one of those things.
To just at least try it once. Not saying like you know you would enjoy or like it or something, but at least to try it one time. You know.
I feel like for me too, it was too easy to get in the hustle for me too, because everything was so already kind of in my life anyway. You know what I mean? Like with my mom being involved with like getting hot. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like she was kind of you know. God bless her, she did what she had to do. You know, we never went without.
Loves you.
Yeah, never went without nothing like that. But you know, she started struggling with that. But she was a hustler too, bro. So you know, I would come down the east and get rid of the stuff that I had, but I'd come back and she would throw money. There'd be money in my top drawer because she's like, I got rid of half. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things. It was already kind of just. It was just me, kind of just. Why wouldn't I? It's almost in my face. All I got to do is connect a couple dots, bro.
But that's all we knew.
And there wasn't really people pushing me to get a job. My grandfather would always say the civil service thing, but it's like, I don't listen to all right, Gramps, you know what I mean? Where it's like, if it was maybe the teenagers, like, yo, the union hall, bro, like,
Like, you were an honorable student, so it's just like, too, I know, we just didn't have the right people to like, you know, like, guys even that had money or, like, even myself, never did anything like I could own a company. I could have been.
Right.
We could have all of us. Like, why not? Like, why not do something destructive? Like, you know, constructive with our life.
I want to get into the education part too, man. What in DYS did you get your GED or
no? I got my GED on my other sentence, my state sentence.
And so not even in Bill Recca when you first.
I tried. I gave it a shot. I didn't.
So let's talk about
Billy was more Rough. Let me make sure I pronounce it right, too. Billerica. God forbid, no one likes my accent.
I know, they gave you a tough time for mispronouncing something last time. Like, Jesus,
Yeah,
you're missing the point, bro. If you're really getting into the pronunciation, like, you're really missing the whole point of the podcast, bro. Like, what are we doing?
I know.
You know what I mean? But, like, Billerica, did you do like Cambridge first? Cambridge pre-trial. Like, what's the experience? Because I feel like you went to the adult a little bit before me.
Yeah. Because when I was 17, I was waiting for them to come get. I'm like, come on, man, they're gonna come get me.
So now you go to the big boys, right? You go to Cambridge
yeah,
jail.
Like coming to get you.
So what? So like when you get to Cambridge jail, I guess what's that like, man? Was it because it is our county? Sometimes some of those older dudes were there, like, or did you not know anybody?
When I went there, I didn't really. I'll be real with you, man. I didn't even want to like shower. I didn't want to do anything, bro, really. I'd be honest with you, man. I was so uncomfortable. Mad uncomfortable.
Especially that new man.
Listen, they put me in 18th dorm, yeah. And I'm like, dude, I just got to do this. I got to get accumulated with it. Yeah. Like in the morning time, I was mad thirsty. I thought that they had them pictures out of the hickory coffee. I thought it was grape juice. I was like, dude, this shit's garbage, man. But nah, I went to 18th dorm, and then Sully, I got moved, dude. He comes in the unit, he's like, Michael Redden from East Cambridge. I'm like, dude, what are you screaming all that for? He's like, yo, where do you want to go? And then, we had issues over there with dudes on 18. I was like, yo, put me on 18. Because that's back when I was on top of my, smoke. I was on it, bro. Yeah. So I moved over to 18. Yep. And that's when I went up to the gym and shit. I was supposed to, I went up to the gym, though, and I got into it. Nope. Real quick with dude.
And this was like shit from the street, or like?
Yeah. It was a thing with Nick and stuff. Like I said, it was situations with other people. Yeah, my loyalty to other people and stuff like that. From my friendship with other people. A lot of situations, man. I kind of was dragged into. Even the situation, I'll name this piece of shit, Kaz. This rat, like he dragged me in to all his stuff, dude. Yeah. That was all his stuff, and then dropped a dime on me at the end. I probably could have beat it. If I knew what I know now, I would have been able to beat it, because it was just this kid turning on me and his word versus my word, but. And the thing is, too, a lot of my cases, I never looked for problems. Right. None of this stuff I ever looked for. I never.
People come. You were the type of person people would come to you with shit. Yeah, no, I get it. I know. Yeah.
People would come.
People saying with me. People
I don't want problems. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Then they end up calling the police if something bad. So them kids chased after our car, dude, in our neighborhood. Like, what are you crazy? Thinking we're kids from Elm Street, and we're not. It went left for them. It went bad. And then, exactly, when people get hurt, it's when people tell, and then, I got jammed up, with that. And honestly, dude, I had a beatable case, dude, you know what I mean? Yeah. It was just the kid Cash telling them something that didn't happen, you know what I mean? Mm. That was his word, because, like, even in my paperwork, they stated, like, when they visited him, he said someone else did it. And then he changed his mind. Yeah. So the cops coerced him. Because the kid didn't even know who I was. He didn't know me.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And that's what I mean. But, like, this is what I mean. We're so down the river. Like, they give us these lawyers that don't care, dude. You just get so down the river.
You're one of 100.
They just sell you off, and that's my point. Like if you don't take advantage of like the help and the stuff you're gonna get in school and stuff growing up, and you keep being a problem, man, they write you off out here. People just write you off. You're done. Like you're done. Like we just think. Crazy. And that's what makes it so much harder, dude, to get back up and get our lives back. Yeah. And not be judged, because everyone out here is so judgmental. I've been to interviews. People love me. Interviews. Oh, this guy, offer sheet, everything. But then find out I did something 6 years ago. See, you know what I mean, man? I've been out of trouble for like going on 7 years now. And it's like, I'm a good guy, man. I don't look myself in the mirror. I'm like, I'm a good guy, dude. Like, you know what I mean, dude? I got full custody of my daughter, dude. Like, I'm a good guy, dude. I'm in my kids' lives. Dude. Like, I'm a dad, man. I'm a loyal, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, bro.
Boyfriend of my girl. Like I take care of my family. I go to work every day. Like I'm a citizen. Yeah. Never thought I'd say this. I'm a citizen.
The struggles with like the job.
Do you want to get a job, man? It's so hard out here, dude. And then the thing that pisses me off, I've been through so many, and it's not even. I work hard, man. I show up. I try. It's the people, man. You know, I've had people. It's like these people wake up and they're just looking to take someone down. It's crazy. Like I would never take down my worst enemy, pretty much. Like if he's trying to just feed his family, dude, to get by. Yeah. Like I've had supervisors laying there doing nothing, then go up and rat on you and talk crap about you.
That's crazy.
And say, he's garbage, whatever. And it's like, dude, you haven't even seen nothing or done that. Like I've met so many people, dude, out here. I don't know what it is, man. And it's like, you know, they look at us like we're the bad guys. But I wouldn't do that to you. You know what I mean?
And they,
like, obviously, you got to defend yourself to a point. Like, you know, absolutely. Come on, man, dude. Why is this, you know? Right. It's messed up how it is out here, and that's one of the hard things that I have a problem with, trying to figure out how things are here.
Well, the job market and the economy is already kind of tough as it is, and then having the barriers with like being an ex-convict and all that just like multiply, bro.
Or people looking at you for how you talk.
Yeah.
Or how, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, we don't gotta love each other and like each other, man. We're here for 8 hours, dude. Let's do our work and go home. That's it. Yeah. I'm not like. Man, I don't know, man. I'll tell you right now, man, you know, it's been tough, you know. Like, when I first came home, man, I was, man, like, you know, man. You know me, B. It's like a boo-boo.
But you stuck with it, though, man. That's what it's about, that resilience.
I've come a long, long way, man. You know what I mean? And, like, there's a God, and, like, everybody out there, you know, you will catch that, you know, break. Don't ever just think it's done or over. Like, as long as you're breathing, man, keep chugging, man. Keep chugging and fighting, man. That's one thing, you know, I always, you know.
That's all you can do, man. I want to get into, like, just your overall view, right? That first, because, you know, like me, it takes a couple times. Maybe we didn't learn the first time, the first county bid or whatever it was, right? So, but that bid, like, what's like your mindset? How come you think maybe it didn't click for you as far as changing your life? And what was the plan when you got out? Did you have a plan, or was it still?
It was like hanging out at a teen center with your cousin and your family, dude.
Literally.
Only thing we were missing were girls, dude. Those females. That's it, dude. I'm telling you. Bill and Ricka, like, dude, we did the book, man. We had it on Smash, dude.
What year was this?
Smash,
what was
all
this?
The way
02, 03?
04.
Okay.
Beginning of 04. All the way to about 07, so about 06, middle of 06.
Did they have the big yard, like the big softball? They were just kind of building the new building?
The mods had a decent sized yard. And I went out, I did I did do the VIP, and I did graduate it too. Yeah. From my parole. Me and Tommy got out the same day. They got both of us out of there. They were like, get these two out of here.
While you're in our county for like 3.5 years, right? Yeah. Just about, I take it, you know, you're not the type to get too much good time sometimes. That bid, but
you know how.
I mean, was there a lot of people, a lot of guys from the neighborhood in and out that you knew? I guess talk about like how many people do you remember, and like was that part of the reason? Like you said, it's almost like almost having fun. And this is a place without a TV, not even in the day room. When I was
out, like their rec was crazy. Dude, we were out
all day,
bro,
with everybody.
Gym, heavy bag, like not sitting there, not promoting, not listening. Prison sucks.
No, but as far as doing time, that was a sweet spot.
But as far as like doing it, like man, it was ran by convicts, dude. It was the only place. That place was legitly, like if they handed out mail 5 minutes late, dude, we wouldn't lock in, man. Dudes wouldn't lock in, and we would take 15 minutes. You know what I mean? We all had unity. Like, you know, white dudes would go to the Latin Kings when the Yetas, and that's it, man. And we would combine, and we wouldn't go nowhere. Like the unity there, the stuff I saw there, like I seen a CEO bring cereal up, like, dude, like, dude, or he would be squeegeeing. Like, and this is legit. Like, these ain't wolf tickets, bro.
No.
So, like, you know, I've seen some crazy stuff there that you wouldn't see. You just wouldn't see it.
I mean,
you wouldn't see it in any other county. Dude. If you ever sold another CEO in any of them counties, go get me a box of cereal. Lucky Charms, by the way.
I mean, I could just add to that. I remember, you know, CJ, rest in peace, when we were cellmates, when I left on parole. I told him, that's my mindset. I was like, I'll be back. You know, this is just a furlough, guys. You know, I'm going to do my time, but they're letting me out. What am I going to say? No, you know what I'm saying? But I came back, and pretty much we kicked out his cellmate, right? Pretty much like, yo, you're going to move into my cell. I'm moving into your cell. And then, it comes down. We do that, and then it's like lockdown time, and then the first CO that asked us, they said no, and we kind of just did it anyway, and then fucking Curtsy comes or whatever. He's like, oh, you guys didn't tell me. That's what it was. We asked the one dude. He said no. Then we asked Curtsy. And then he said yeah. And then Curtsy was mad because he's like, well, you know what I mean? Like you went above his head. Yeah. So he was mad that we went over the other dude's head, and they're supposed to be on the same team, all that shit, whatever. But we were just like, whatever. We ain't cuffing up. And CJ said, he's like, well, we ain't cuffing up. Slam the door.
Was about all that.
Yeah. He's like, we ain't cuffing up. Slam the door. Boom. And that was it. He's like, yo, you ready? Like we was getting ready to fight the move team, and then all of a sudden, Curtsy come. Yeah, Curtsy. CJ's already ready to go upstate at this point. He was already, psyching himself up for DDU, and like he was like everything that he manifested all of that shit, man. God rest his soul. But I love that kid, man.
Yeah, I know.
He was like, Curtsy, we're not cuffing up, and then Curtsy leaves, and then he comes back, and then he's like, yo, you're lucky I don't want to do paperwork, a shift change or something, and we just pretty much bullied our way into just being Sellies. You know what I'm saying?
It was like that there. You know what I mean? Like. You would see even dudes, like when I used to be there, like you'd have the dude, Paul Nolan dude, running down the tier naked, streaking, yo, throw me out coffee and some cupcakes. They would bring them up from the wine cellar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Bro, even when I was in the hole, you know what I mean? I got caught, you know what I mean? Monk, another one, rest his soul, man. Monk he had to connect, he always had pull. They got me a job right away. And he sent me stuff in the hole and all this stuff too, stuff that like would be you wouldn't even ask anywhere.
Yeah, we used to do the socks. Dudes used to do the socks.
That's what you'd have to do.
Up the thing.
Fishing and all that stuff.
With the names
so by the time you wrap up, right? Like, do you end up hitting like CWP or any of that stuff eventually? Not even like hitting it and getting lugged out of it? No, just all behind the wall bid?
Yeah, I still wasn't getting it.
So what was up with 3.5 years? Why wasn't you getting your GED at this point? Because you had said you got your GED upstate, right?
I was always in some. I was always in.
So being in trouble, is it something like you just don't get put on the list for these type of things?
I just got little man syndrome, B. I just got little man syndrome, man. It's like I don't know, man.
Do you feel like, especially going to a new environment too, like people we know who you are in the neighborhood, people, you know what I mean, even in the city or whatever, and some in the city stuff. Sometimes even the legend gets bigger than the actual person because they'll meet you and they'll think you're like 6'5" or something. Like
2 feet nothing, right?
But you think that's part of it? Like now, these people don't know me. I got to show them who I am. Or
that's how I felt.
Validation, seeking validation, essentially.
Like I felt like that. I felt like like we got to be known in here. We got to be like, because like we weren't really known, dude. It was all Somerville kids, really. Somerville and Low. That time when I was with you briefly, that was the deepest we were. Like then we were like probably like 10 of us, 11 of us, but. Normally, it was like probably like, but if you include the dudes from the port and stuff, this is just me talking about East and stuff, but if you include the port coast.
Yeah, there's always Cambridge guys.
Yeah, there's other. You know what I'm saying? I felt like, like we got to be known in here. We got to be like, because like we weren't really known, dude. It was all Somerville kids, really. Somerville and Low. Like when we had that incident, like we just had that incident, just East Cambridge. It wasn't like we didn't bring the port. With the Somerville dudes. We didn't bring the port, we didn't bring the coast, we didn't bring NC, we didn't bring nobody involved with it. It was our situation. Well, realistically, when I was young like that, I was just looking for something to really, things were kind of edgy with them. I was kind of just looking for something to like set it with them, believe it or not. That's how I was when I was younger. And there's good dudes from over there. I fuck with a lot of Somerville dudes, you know what I mean? It ain't nothing like that, but I don't know, man. I wanted to put our flag down and stuff. I was like, dude, if he did, we're rolling up there in the morning. We'll go deal with it. Yeah. That's what we did.
Yep. And it's always good that when you have people that you know from the street and even family to an extent too.
Four of us, Tommy's like, dude, I've never been in.
There's so much more trouble bidding with you.
I remember we had some dude went and ate chicken, man. We told him, don't go eat the chicken. We'll send you some food, man. Our hotel went on strike. And this dude went and ate the chicken, dude. Tommy's on the door. I'm like, get off the door, T. He's like, why? I'm like, get off the door, man. Then I go over there. And I get into it with him, dude.
So like break that down. It's like a solidarity thing. Like you guys are trying to do like a hunger strike.
We were on strike like for something. I forgot what it was. They had the camera pointed down there and everything.
Yeah.
So and then once they let it, me and T stayed up all night. He's like, who wants to go in first? I was like, I'll go in first, dude. And I ran in. We ran in on him. He was coming off the bunk.
Damn. So, I mean, eventually you wrap up from like behind the wall. So, like, what's the plan? Like you said, does someone do you have any jobs lined up for you?
A plan is a failing man, they say, right, V?
And you're on probation too, right? Superior probation.
Yeah. I had a 5-year. I almost completed it too, but
I know you were out for a little
Busby,
bit.
dude. Yeah, Busby. Shout out to that.
Who was that? Your PO?
Yeah, fucking asshole.
So what happens? Do you eventually? You said you almost made it. You eventually violate.
Yeah.
How do you violate?
You know, trying to make ends meet. You know what I mean? Get a few bucks. That kid, what's his name? I forgot his name. But I get a situation out here in Central Square. They grab me, box me in, and then I get violated. But then, no, that happened after, actually.
I mean, what happened? They just ran up on you?
That happened after. Yeah, they tailed the kid from out here.
Okay.
Because he was on his phone, hard as hell. Exactly. They tailed me and grabbed. But that was afterwards. What did I end up getting for the Busby thing? I'm trying to figure that out.
Is that when you came back and then with the thing in the chow hall and then you went to Middleton, or is this after? That was parole for that 3.5. That was the parole for that. Oh, so you actually made a parole.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I didn't go to the sober house because, dude, I didn't mess around. I didn't get high, you know. So, like, I was like, why am I at a sober house, dude? I had nothing in relate with these guys at the time. You know?
Was that something that they wanted to put you in a sober house, or you just had nowhere to go?
I had to, and I had nowhere to go. Exactly. Yeah. Mom threw me out, dude. Once I was 17, bro, Mom was like, beat it. You ain't giving me an SSI check. You're out of here.
Damn. That's cool.
You know how it is.
I mean, so how long did it? I mean, I don't know about, my mom's a little bit different.
But, I know. Dude, if you have a mother that loves you, man, you cherish that, man. Because I'll tell you, man, especially, boys, man, men, boys and their moms, like, it's just different, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Like, I've always had my mom's back, dude.
So is it pretty much, because you didn't do the sober house thing, you're pretty much on the run right away? Like, what happens with that?
Yeah.
And you went, how long were you out on parole? Were you like me, like a month?
Yeah, that's when me and you were supposed to turn ourselves in, and I turned around.
And I went. I forgot.
He's like, y'all be a man. Put on your big boy pants. I said, I walked in with you, dude. You remember, dude. We were right.
Yeah, I was fucked up, bro. They turned me around one day, bro, because I went so late, bro.
We're not taking no one.
I went to, they're like, the court's closed. I'm like, I'm turning myself. Bro, and I went the next, that was it, what happened? I went the next day.
I don't know, man.
With the I went in with the draw, so that's when I had the draw up the fucking safe the grandma draw, and that I was in there with your cousin Tommy, and then Ryan Jason, rest in peace, man.
And, so many, I know.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I know, that's what I'm trying to say, though. It's like, that's when me and you were supposed to turn ourselves in, and I turned around. And I went.
I forgot.
He's like, y'all be a man. That's so hard to do, man. I was like, I ain't going. They could catch me, dude.
Yeah, it's a tough thing to volunteer.
I just stayed out and chill with Joe. Yep. And then, dude, your mother's funny, dude. Your mother's like, you just got to get out of here. Jojo, I don't know where you and Mike going, but you're out of here. I'm cleaning the Dutch bunnies today. So me and JoJo, we dip, we bounce, dude. And we're going to Melissa's, dude. Melissa don't even let us in. Melissa don't answer or whatever. Her and Lewis, whatever we're doing. But
they were having
busy.
it.
Yeah, they were busy. So we didn't get in, and then bang, we see George, well, 3 of them. I don't know if it was survivors, but there was 3 of them, man. They were like, Redden, you weren't even on our list, man. Look at this.
Well, the detectives?
Yeah, they pulled behind us. JoJo's like, yo, you ready, dude? We'll dip, dude. He's like, I'll go right. We'll try to dip. I'm like, dude, I ain't running, dude. I said, I ain't running, dude. How far am I getting?
Was it almost a relief, though, get caught? Because you ready to deal with it, too?
All you guys were there. I knew all my stuff. Like, I knew going there, like, I'm taken care of, dude. Yeah. You know how much stuff I had, dude. I accumulated so much stuff. Like, I still wanted the stuff that I had from being
before.
there from before. Had the white hot pot, you know what I mean? I had everything. Like when I left, I told them, Fitzy, to leave it all to you. When Fitzy wrote me a letter in Middleton, he goes, he got monked.
Oh, like a monk? Yeah, but took half the bag.
And then he wrote something. Because, dude, when I was there, dude, we had hundreds of dollars of food. I had tuna pouches, like in elastics, like, dude, tons of them.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely had a big bag man waiting for me, man. But that's how it was back then. So nowadays, you can't get you're on a different block, bro.
That's why it's over, baby. I came in, they're looking at me like, who are you?
You just expecting shit. Like, I'm a solid white guy. What do you mean?
Yeah, they're like, dude, who are you, brother? Who are you? I'm from the shelter. We're deep here from the shelter. Dude, it's like all mental patients and things. That's what I mean. Last time I was there, I got involved with this incident with a mental patient. Like, I'm like, dude, this is crazy.
Crazy.
I got him on the table. He's telling me to suck as you know what. I'm like, dude, why do I get into it with the most bugs? And then you got to do something. You don't get no points for that.
Yeah, I know, but exactly.
And they charge you now, bro. I'm like, dude, and Gannon, Tommy Gannon is known us our whole life. I'm like, dude, you're charging me for this? Like, dude didn't even get hurt, bro.
That's
nothing.
crazy.
Like,
just regular fight, not even no outside hospital, nothing.
I just gave him like a whack, and like
crazy.
I dragged him by his braid. He had a braid, but dude, I didn't hurt him, dude. It wasn't like I booted him and stuff. You know what I mean? It had to be done, bro. What he did, dude. Yeah. You know, he burnt me for like $10.
Oh, gee, see, yeah.
It's like you're getting nothing.
That's why it's like not even worth it. Like, dude, I'm
like, open my door for the plunger now, dude. They opened my door, man. I'm like, I don't know why they opened my door.
Damn.
They must not know who I am yet.
So, what eventually gets you to go upstate, and is this where things start to like change for you, bro? Like,
yeah, dude. I had crashed out, man, and like, you know, I did something I would never do. You know what I mean? It was a horrible thing. Thank God nobody got hurt or anything like that. But just like with my temper and everything, dude, you know, whatever. Yeah, I didn't get into detail. Like I regret it always to this day. But I thank God that nobody got hurt like that or seriously hurt, because that's what I mean. Like. Yeah. And that's what woke me up too, and was my wake-up call, was that, you know. I wish it wasn't as long as it was, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think I needed that much longer. It just took me longer to mature, you know, and get over all that just rage. And from the bullying, man. I'll tell you that much. That's why I hate bullying. Like, bullying affects kids and affects people so much, bro. There's a reason why someone is the way they are, bro. Right. There's not. It's not like people. That's why some people be like, dude, why that dude shoot up that whole? Usually there's something like a job. There's something he went through, bro. Yeah. He's been fired probably from 30 jobs, bro. He's on his breaking point. He's gonna be homeless, dude. Right. There's usually a story to it, but no one gives a shit about none of that. No. They don't, you know, they're just like, oh, this piece of shit. Don't get me wrong, he is a piece of shit. He shouldn't be taking it that severe to take a life, you know what I'm saying? But people get abused out. Yo, people talk crazy to you, bro. No. People talk to you like you're an idiot, like, you know, absolutely. Like straight up. There's not people out here that want to show you. Don't get me wrong, they're out here, but they're very slim, you know? There's more of the people that just want to fucking talk shit. Oh, this guy's a fucking retard. I don't like to use that word really, but, you know, he's not the brightest bulb in the shed, man. Damn, like, you're just talking crap about you, putting you down. You know, more people should want to show you, teach you, because you don't know what no one's been through, man. You don't know. Everyone's been through different things, and you know, to treat someone like that, man. That's what I mean. Like, I'm supposed to be the bad. I'm supposed to. They look at me like I'm the good guy. Right. The way you people operate and think it's out backwards. Here, it is, bro. And it's like, you know, because. Living in there, it's all about respect, man. Everything's respected, because you get out of line and get for real. These people don't know that.
Especially like now that brings me to the transition to like going upstate too. The level of respect is kind of a little bit different from county, especially like you said, the most recent time.
You go up there, dude, it can get dangerous there, man.
But just talk about like, where did you go for classification at this point?
I went to Walpole for classification, and you know, I did all that, you know, and I was classed a medium, but, you know, I had an incident in the kitchen, in the freezer. This loudmouth dude, man, he's heating food up, his food's popping, I don't know what. I'm like, yo, your food's done, man. And he's like, yo, if it ain't done, I'm whacking you or something. I'm like, what? Who are you talking to like that, buddy? Like, you crazy? I'm like, dude, we're in front of the bubble. So I used to do the bread for DDU, 10 block. I would bag it in wax bags and stuff. And I did it in front of the bubble. It stayed, like, the tables there. I'm like, dude, get them in the freezer. I bring them in the freezer, and I'm pleading with them, dude, because right now I'm trying to, like, grow up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to grow up on this bit and be different, man. I really am. I'm trying to be different, man. I can't keep living the way I'm living, holding grudges. Anybody who ever got up on me, trying to get them, all the stuff that would eat at my mind. But so I brought him into the freezer, dude, and I'm pleading with him not to fight him. He's getting, like, more loud because he thinks I'm backing down, you know, when people. Right. So I end up blasting him, and it splits his nose, and then I start patching him with bread. I'm trying to go. I'm ripping loaves of bread, dude, and handing him trying to stop the bleeding. And we get him. We put him in the back of the dish room. I'm like, I'm out of here, because when I used to get done with the bread, I can get out early. They have like a movement. They had a movement beforehand.
You can catch it.
But I got a cut on my hand from ripping them into the cake racks. It was fucking So I go back, I shower. I tell Scotty, Scotty, dudes I used to mess with, I'm like, yo, I'm probably getting lugged, buddy. I said, nice knowing you, dude, whatever. So I go take a shower, and they come to my cell. Yeah. They see a cut, they lug me to 10 block. I go to 10 block, I get reclassed. Now I'm going to, man, unfortunately, I had to go up to the max and do my sentence. And that place is just, it's like quicksand. It's designed to just keep you there. Like you can get 3 not standing for count tickets, and like they're keeping you there, dude, for years.
And what was your sentence? How much time did you end up getting?
They gave me a 4 to 7.
4 to 7?
Yeah, man, and I did most of it, you know what I mean?
Up the max?
And most of it up there, yeah.
Dang.
You know, and I didn't really have incidents. I didn't get into, I had a couple, but I didn't get into situations. Like I said, changed my life. I did every spectrum program they had, anger management, you know, all of them, reentry, all them programs I did. I used my time more value, because up there, man, everybody's in a game. Everybody's at each other, man. Yeah. I stay out of that, dude.
And a lot of it's like not really
plain white guy, dude. That's it, man.
A neutron or whatever they want to call us.
Man. I'm not.
That's it. East Cambridge.
I'm
that's
not.
What it's about,
I'm not
man.
with all that, dude.
I
don't have anything against what they're in or whatever, but none of that's my business, you know. So you mind your business up there, man.
And if you're not already involved because of like maybe gang politics or whatever like that, and just like carry yourself with respect. I didn't get no incidents at all in my state. No. All my stuff was in county, you know what I mean? And half of it was from the street, just carried over, bro. You know what I mean?
All you do is, if you treat like people, there are some dudes that are ignorant, man. I
didn't walk around like a tough guy, and you know what I mean, like. So
because dude, it gets lame,
call people out their name or stupid. You know how people are.
Yeah, it gets lame. And then you look back at all them years, you know, that were wasted, and all that time, and you're like, dude, what was it? What the fuck was it all for? Like,
yeah. So pretty much you only. So when you get into this fight at Walpole, like you're in the hole there. Is that 10 block? Yeah. I guess. And how long are you sitting in there for?
I sat in there for like a month and a half.
A month and a half.
Yeah.
For a fight.
Yeah, because they gotta reclass you.
Oh, damn.
So when they got to reclass you, then they got to reclass you. So it's a process.
Damn.
So yeah, I sat in there for like a month and a half, and then I went up to the max. And then I was seeing CJ and stuff. And then I got stuck up there.
And you wrapped up from the max?
No.
You eventually, okay, so how long?
So what happened was I got paroled to a medium.
Parole to a medium.
For 90-day ticket free. And this is towards the end of my sentence where it really got...
It wasn't at the 4?
It didn't even matter, no.
It wasn't close. It was
like
closer
my
to the 7.
third time seeing them, dude.
Okay.
This is what I'm saying. Like, violent offenses and stuff, they don't play with, dude. Yeah. This is where I started realizing, dude, they're not playing with me knowing they're not playing. They don't play, dude. Yeah. They don't play.
At what point did you get the GD, and was that for like a parole strategy, or did you feel like you really wanted it for you?
So I took the test. I didn't even think I was going to get it. And then Mr. Q, Paul Q, he's a funny old white dude who was in Vietnam War. I don't know how you did it, Randy, but you got it. You passed it by like one question.
So is this something that you were like going to school for, studying, or they just...
Yeah, no, I would go to school.
Okay.
I'd go up and see CJ. He'd fall out. Pull a code 99. He was always doing them codes, man. Code 99.
What's that?
They'd wheel him out in a wheelchair.
Go to medical?
Dudes were telling me, they're like, yo, I try to chill with him, dude. He'd fall out. I'd be like, dude, what are you doing, bro?
No.
He'd be like, I'm going in. Dude, you calling a code, bro?
Oh, because it wasn't movement, he wanted to get the fuck out of there pretty much.
He'll get the wheelchair.
Oh,
dude,
my God.
It was mine.
Oh man! But I mean, talk about that moment. Then I mean, did you feel any sense of pride getting that? Is that something that you wanted to share with maybe any family or anything like that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I was happy about it because I know it's one of the obstacles in life, you know, that like you know you need to have. You know what I mean? It's a credential. You need it for a job, just like a car. Like you need that stuff. Just like even my driver's license. Like I didn't get that until I was late, dude. You know, we lived in Cambridge. My family didn't have cars, you know, we just, everywhere we walked, bro. We hoofed it.
I mean, as an adult now, I see it's like one of the, I kind of look at work, and I say half joking, like as a necessary evil. But like school, that's how it was for me. It's like, that was a necessary evil. But then again, I excelled in school and stuff like that too. I didn't struggle, so I could see it's different for everybody. Everybody's experience is different. I like school. It got me out of a chaotic home and stuff like that too. I used to always tell my brother, like, why do you want to stay home for, bro? Like, everyone's at school. Who's here? I don't know.
Nah, I know. You would use it more to your advantage. Some of us don't. You know, I found no interest in school. Then they put you in them behavioral schools, man. They're trying to teach you, like, multiplication, dude. It's like, dude, 16, 10 plus 10.
Yeah.
Like, bro, what are we doing here?
Absolutely.
That's how I started feeling about school. It's just like...
So, now... When you're doing your state bid, are you a father at this point? Like, when does that become part of your story, bro?
I am. My son was born, you know, right before, man. You know what I'm saying? That time and stuff, and that's what I'm trying to explain. That time, like, you know, it's precious, man. You can't, you know, get back. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason sometimes, and like. You could turn a negative into a positive in any way you can. That's all you can try to do, man. You can't live. There's nothing you can do, you know. It happened. And you can just change. That's all you can do. So, you know what I mean?
But do you think that's a big part of you, like maybe not wanting to have like such a eventful bid, right? Like the fact that you have a kid and you're a father now and you're not as wild or...
That
the age too, it's all of it, right?
Yeah, the age and like
get older.
It's getting tired, dude. You get tired, man. Yeah, I don't know about anybody else, but dude, it gets exhausting, dude. And honestly, nowadays, like with all the rats and the snitches and they're calling everyone else a rat, just all this stuff nowadays, it's crazy, dude. It's nuts. It's like it's promoted. And like dudes be messing with them because of money or whatever. It's fucked up nowadays. It's not as real. It's getting less real as time goes. Like none of them dudes, people don't care, bro. Like that. Like even like I used to see it. Like if a dude's tough, if a dude could fight, but he's a rat, dudes don't want to do nothing. Dude, you got to do something. It doesn't matter, dude. If he's tough or whatever, then you gotta go, dude. You get wiped, at least you tried. You know what I mean? But that's how dudes, you know how dudes are, man. They pick their battles. You'll see rats, you know, living on a unit.
Yeah.
That's when
But
that's when I was like, what did I do all this for?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
The pay to stay era. The pay to stay. These dudes are no good, but because I don't know, maybe you burned all your bridges for whatever reason. I'm not saying that I didn't burn a lot too.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be struggling with a group of solid dudes than be on a tail. Like it's such a turn off now, bro.
It's just like, dude, what exactly? And if you try to do something, you're gonna be the only one doing something. Yep. You're gonna be an idiot, shipped out, which I've been many a times too, man. You're just gonna be that fool, dude. They just get rid of you, man. It's not. Yep. That's why, man. That's another thing, man. I woke up, I'm like, this can't be my life. Like I'm better than this, dude. And like that's all people would think about me as anyway. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Mike, you really know he's trouble. He's this. You know what I mean? People really don't know me. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, a lot of that reputation too was kind of deserved because we were kind of terrorists. You know what I'm saying? But
I did a lot of regretful
but we're redeemable.
Stuff, man.
We're redeemable.
I did exactly.
That's the
and
point.
If you really knew me, exactly, like you know, sometimes
and your heart was in the right place. Always, like you said, always a loyal dude. You know what I mean? And we weren't bullying. We weren't bullying. We actually would kind of. If we saw people going to other neighborhoods, like you said, because we were the ones that would have to pay the price when these kids are going to other neighborhoods, starting trouble, right? Like that, we would kind of be like, yo, we don't want people doing that to our neighborhood. Don't do that. And we would keep our own people in line.
All we did was our location. We didn't go out of bounds. We didn't go to other people's. We didn't try to do that. Like that's what would happen. Like a lot of these situations, like you said, dude, it would be dudes coming to us, dude.
Or coming to our block and try to like get the money that was our that's our area.
Make
like
bread, like, come on, that's
we didn't go to your block and just open up shop.
Yeah,
Don't do that to us because we're like some white dudes or something.
You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
and exactly,
bro.
like we had to hold it down, man. This is crazy. You can't. And that's how Cambridge was, dude. And dudes are about it's more about money, man. But that's what I mean. Like
but you can find trouble if you're looking for it.
Them other kids were dragging us into situations, bro. Like I remember one time, dude, I heard like 50 Charlestown kids came out to the wall, bro, and I'm like, what? What the hell happened? When did I miss this newsletter? I didn't know about it.
Because most of the time, if there was trouble, we know because we probably ones like causing it too. Sometimes,
I didn't get
bro.
caught out there either. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Or anyone that was in my circle.
Absolutely.
Or anyone, you know what I mean? But still, like that's what I was talking about. And then that's when things were just on there, boy.
It's a whole different era. It was like more like
it was just going down the
you got respect for just showing up to a fight back then. Nowadays, if you don't because everything's on camera too. If you lose, like you get clowned for losing. Where it's like we grew up in the era, like fuck that, bro. Like props, bro. Like good shit for showing up, bro.
You
like
just show up, dude. That's it, man. You got to take one and give one, man.
Absolutely.
You can't win them all, man.
So when you say parole to a medium, right? Like break that down. Like they parole, and where's the Shirley medium?
Shirley medium. Stay 90 days, ticket free. And then I went to the program. Governor Baker opened the program up because dudes were getting stuck in there, waiting for beds, man. Because, you know, when you're out, these dudes out here get picked first more.
Wait, what program? You said the program.
Governor Baker opened up a program.
Well, do you remember the name of it?
In Palmville. Nah, okay. I forgot the name of it. But it was in Palmville minimum jail. He took a wing. You know what I mean? There were hallways. He took a hallway, emptied it out, and made it a program.
Yeah. And based on what kind of program is this based on? Like a violence prevention
Substance
thing?
Abuse, violence. We did classes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? We lived in there with the Palmville dudes, the minimum dudes. It was like a hospital type setting. It looked like, and it was chill. I completed it. I wrapped up from there.
Nice. I want to bring it just a little bit back to Walpole because I'm always curious because I've never been there and I've never been to the Max, but I've been there to visit JoJo. You know what I mean? But Walpole being so old and stuff like that, I guess paint the picture pulling up to Walpole. It looks like a castle, man. Was that an intimidating thing, or what's going through your mind? Are you just ready
to? I was tired, man. I was beat down, man. You know them rides, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
I didn't get there till 8, dude. I was beat, man.
No.
I was bad. I remember I flushed the toilet, man. Dude's like, yo, we don't do that.
Because it's so late?
Yeah, because then it's got the bars. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah. I used to be used to it in Cambridge, but I was like, oh, my bad, man.
Because the whole ticket.
He's like, all right, man.
But what about as far as when the chow hall comes, how you know where to sit? I always heard that was a thing.
What was the good thing? Mikey Sullivan was there from East.
Okay.
You know
East
what I'm
Cambridge
saying?
guy.
So he sent me over a laundry bag loaded up.
Okay.
He worked the laundry there. He was in the workers unit.
So what would be the situation if that wasn't the case? Do you see people come in and look awkward, not knowing where to sit, or is there anything that you notice about that?
Not really, actually, because it's pretty open. But when I was there, they still were doing the table thing, you know. But there'd be a mixture sometimes too, but you would have to be
and it wasn't before.
You had to be invited. Yeah, it wasn't not I don't know about before, but I can only imagine. And how many guys, you know what I mean?
Well, you got to think just it being classification, right? There's a big turnaround, and I know a bunch of guys that still were staying there for a while, but for the most part, it's people just coming in and out at that point, right? Because it's classification as opposed to being the only Max.
They did chow too then, because they got two sides. They got the Max end, I believe it's called, and they got the other end. So they got two sides. I don't know how they operated it before, if they packed it. You know, like the Max would do and it would do N1 or whatever when we were downstairs before moving up, and then you go, you know what I mean? Because there were only 4-man tables too, so if you had dudes that sat with you that were on another unit needed the table, you had to eat quick and you had to get up.
Yeah, wow. And this was
Thank God we're from Cambridge because you might have a hard time having a seat to eat your food. Brother.
Yeah.
if you're from a city, not from a city, or...
Well, I actually saw somebody comment the other day, like, oh, Cambridge got to ask people to sit down or something like that upstate. I don't know if they were talking, I'm like, I don't even answer.
There's always got to be something, dude. That's what I'm saying. These dudes don't know what they're saying, dude. They talk, yeah, I know, Cambridge. Yeah. We had 2 tables up there.
Right.
Even Jizz had a table.
Jizz from North Cambridge, yeah.
Shout out to Jizz, man.
Yeah,
Jizz
absolutely,
had a
man.
table, too.
Free Jizz. I think they got him in the feds now,
yeah,
man.
they do.
Absolutely. Even like going back to like my dad's era and stuff like that, he always was said the Cambridge table wasn't
dude,
like
I even talk to upstate, like, you know, I'm not just trying to big up Cambridge all the time. But anybody I've ever met up there is like Cambridge. It's got a lot of things. Got a, you know, tough. Some of the toughest dudes coming through there, man.
Absolutely, I think of guys like Georgie growing up, man. That guy used to. I used to.
And you got you got Fruity too. You know, you got guys. What I've heard, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, their reputation precedes them, but I just remember Georgie just from the neighborhood just being like, oh my, because he just had looked scary to me as a little kid. I'm like, I'm glad he likes me because he's always like, you know, oh, your father, you know what I mean? Shaking my hand. I thought he was crushing, bro.
I believe, they shipped him to Leavenworth before, like, you know,
rest in peace. That's it.
Yeah,
so many,
guys,
man.
All them guys, even Bubba Good. Bubba Good's one of the most serious dudes up. Like, I remember in Walpole, they pulled the sword out the ground because some dude gave it to the CO too. But I overheard the CO was talking to the other CO. He's like, this is probably one of Bubba Good's.
Eventually, you wrap up. This time, do you wrap up to probation, or you just got that little bit of parole? Or did you not have any parole at all? Like, when you got out, did you have a parole officer? Because
Nah. I wrapped up.
Okay.
I had nowhere to go.
So talk about that transition, man. I know that was kind of a little bit of a struggle, and it can be for a lot of people, bro. What was that transition like now? Now you want to do the right thing.
But I still didn't know how to. I didn't know how to earn money. I didn't know how to be like legit, dude. I didn't know how to survive without, you know, hustling. I didn't know how to, man.
Right.
I had to figure that out, you know what I mean, over time, man. But I never knew how, you know, to do that, you know what I mean? And then I caught on, you know. None of it's worth it, man. None of it is worth it. None of it. You know, especially when you have kids and you have something that's bigger than everything, something you love more than anything. That's what someone needs. You need something like that. Like they say in sobriety, you need a higher power.
Yeah, power greater than yourself.
You just do to keep you fighting for something, you know, because we don't have much, bro. I don't have much, bro. I have my pops. It's really, you know what I mean? Don't have much, bro. You know, even like, you know what I mean? Like socially, everything, it's just like.
I got you, bro.
And then even from doing all of the time, like, you know, I have social anxiety from all that, you know what I mean? I really don't like coming out, going to big settings and stuff, you know what I mean?
No, I get that too, bro. What are some things that you, like, learned about yourself during that time, and actually being able to, like, you know, mature and self-reflect and all that, bro?
Oh, life is short, man, you know, and life's what you make it. And like, you know, I know what it's like, you know what I mean, to you know, to have your life, you know, taken from you. So, you know, any day you get's a blessing, man. It's just a blessing.
So why don't you, I guess, talk a little bit about that, man, because today was kind of a big day for you, man. I know you've been talking about having this procedure done for a while, and even, like, with the thing, too, you get out of prison sometimes, you know, health and shit. Everything's money, but talk a little bit about, like, the procedure and how you feeling about that, man. Like, how's that?
I'm glad it ain't with me no more, but, you know, I was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and I got shot, you know. I was dead for, like, 7 minutes. At the same time, I was going through this. My daughter got, you know, taken away. So as I'm fighting for my life, I'm trying to fight for my daughter too. And, you know, and I got people judging me and stuff like that and everything else. Like, when you make an image about yourself, no one, and it's hard to believe, oh, Mikey was just innocently, you know what I mean? Yeah, anyone would be like, no way, you know what I mean? Because looking at paper or whatever. But it's true. Thank God I'm here and I'm alive. They saved my life. Thank God we have Mass General and the best hospitals around because, you know, I want to be here. You know, I'm here. I got custody of my daughter. You know, my life, just me as a person, growth and just maturity and, You know, it took me a while, but man, I don't give myself enough credit. I really don't even take time to reflect on everything, you know, I've done, you know, as a father, you know what I mean, to take care of my family and just be a citizen out here and, you know, work and pay taxes. And
I mean, I remember you told me too, because, you know, obviously we look back because trying to like make light of a bad situation. Things are what they are. Why are you gonna sit there and be miserable about it? But you kind of joking. You were like, of all the things I done, I get friggin' popped for something that has nothing to do with me or anything. Like go figure, right?
I know. Like
That's how
really.
life.
And that's just how things work sometimes, you know. Karma too, like, you know. And that's what I feel like comes with the territory. If you hurt people in your life, no matter what, sometimes it will come back and hurt you. Even at a time where you least expect it, when it should never happen to you because you're out of all that. You're pretty much out of it. You know what I mean? You may be still hanging around with someone or something, you know, that you shouldn't be. But for the most part, you know, I was depressed about my daughter, dude. I was staying in the house, you know what I mean? I was very emotional. And somebody just said, get out of the house, you know, come out, man, get out of your head. And then I went, you know.
Well, it's one of those things that's almost like a karmic debt, right? Because you got to think, you said we got lucky a lot. Like, so think of all the stuff, like, yeah, we got caught a lot, but like we got away with a lot of stuff. So it's like, you got to pay the piper on that. Like, we didn't have to do the time for that. So that's like that karmic debt.
That's how I look at it, exactly, B. I look at it as like, calm. I believe in that stuff, you know.
We try to balance it with like these good acts now too, and sometimes maybe I even try to overcompensate because, especially stuff where I look back like with the innocent people, like civilians, bro, just trying to do an armed robbery as a juvenile. Like them people weren't in the life. Like I really feel guilt about certain stuff like that, but it's like you got to try to still move and not always think like I don't know. It's like PTSD too. Like all right, that karmic debt's come. When's it gonna come? You know what I mean? Like what? Like what's that?
When's it gonna hit me? You know, am I gonna make it through it? Because I tell you, man, that was that feeling. You know, just being gone. You're done. You're gone. You know what I mean?
So you also, and this is after your state bid, became a father again as well. This was after. I mean,
well, no.
Well, this was before you went upstate.
Oh yeah, for my daughter.
For your daughter,
For Grace, So I
That's the one you were fighting for and all that.
Yeah, that's the one I have custody of now. My daughter Grace,
Absolutely.
And many fathers don't do that. Even the judge told me, he's like, dude, I respect you and what you've done, you know. And like I said, dude, I was discriminated against.
Yeah, you must be doing something right in Massachusetts
like,
to get custody.
I was renting a room at the time, so like, you know, she went with her godparents. Thank God, you know, God bless them, dude. And I'm glad I picked them and everything, you know. And I appreciate them always for what they did and being there, so my daughter wouldn't have to. Like being like some horse strand, like, cause that would have killed me, dude. You know what I mean? But dude, I did everything, man. But like, a lot of my past was getting held. It sucks, man. These people just hold you for your past, dude. You've already suffered, man. You've already done time.
That's the punishment.
That's the punishment. Why do people gotta still suffer, dude, and go through what they gotta go through? And then how do you think somebody's going to get their life together? I'm going to tell you right now, as much as I've been knocked down in life, dude, there ain't many people that would see it, dude. I'm talking, you want to talk numbers of jobs, man? I can't even keep count, bro. Right. It's embarrassing and everything, too, but it's really, and it's not funny or nothing either, you know? It's messed up out here for people like us that are trying to get forward and move forward. Like, they make it impossible, dude. They want to keep filling jails, so... You're like one of them chosen ones that are written off, dude. Yeah. We don't want you out here. We want you in there.
Exactly, yeah.
We want you to be at number.
Yeah, if the recidivism rate, they say is like...
I ain't falling for that no more,
no.
I ain't going for that trick. That banana in the tail.
That's why they get a new cycle of young kids to get caught up in it and all that. But talk a little bit about, like, some things you learned about life or yourself, like just being a dad, bro, and not having to, you know what I mean, having to put other people kind of before you, because, you know, sometimes we're self-centered growing up, how we grow up. Maybe we have to be, because if we don't think about ourselves, no one else is going to think about us.
Yeah. I mean, I want the best for, you know, my kids. I don't want them to have to grow up ever like I had to in any type of way, pretty much, you know what I mean? And, like, having a kid, there's nothing better than it, man. There's nothing... It's the best feeling in the world, man, watching your kid smile, spending time with them, going down playing softball with them, going to softball events, cheer events, like, you know what I mean? Nothing's a better feeling, man, than that, you know what I mean? And like I said, even that was new to me. I give respect. The toughest job in the world is being a parent. There ain't no harder job than being a parent, especially girls, man. Especially girls that I have.
So going through like so many jobs as you did, and then finally getting something that's stable, like that's what's up. So like, what are you looking forward to now? Like, cause as far as like moving forward and having freedom and not living a certain life anymore and being a dad, like what are you looking forward to in life moving forward, man? Like for yourself.
Getting married, you know, growing with my family. I want to, own a house, take trips, do things like that, I always like to learn too. I like to, learn new things and stuff like that all the time, the type of work that I do, like more open-minded, just, to more positive stuff and more things like that instead of like, I used to be so negative. That stuff's like a cancer, man.
So what about like physically too, now having that bullet out of you, right? Like talk about that, because like I was talking to you off camera earlier too. Like I wake up, sometimes, mainly in prison, not really so much out here. I wake up with a stiff neck and I feel vulnerable. But like, I mean, talk about that, bro.
I mean, dude, it killed, man. It was a ball, like, and it tell you, it's gonna be way better when like just knowing it's not there. It's a psychological thing. I mean, you got a fragment near your heart. Yeah. It's like, dude, it's like
it's too close for comfort.
Yeah, buddy. You know what I'm saying? It's like
even physically though. Too, now are you able to like start doing more stuff as far as like, if you want to play basketball
or it didn't limit me like that. It was just more of an
mental,
uncomfortable. Not even
physically
mental,
pain.
Just uncomfortable, man. And there was days where it would give off like sharp pains and to like my nerves or something, but like I told you before too, and it's like a weakness, man. I don't really like to carry
vulnerability.
That around. Like that.
Congratulations too, and I feel like the way things worked out to actually to do this today on a day that kind of I know for some people it may be like but like I know you would really like I gotta get this thing out of me, man.
Dude.
So I'm happy for you, bro.
I appreciate that.
For sure. So, a couple more questions. We're getting a little bit close to the end here. So, like, why do you think it's important, for people to come up here and tell their story and, have people listen to the things that maybe people had to go through, and everybody's story is different. So why is it important?
Because it could reach somebody and it can save somebody, you know what I mean, from having to live through hell and go through all that stuff, man. It's not, I'm telling you, anybody, if you are like that street stuff, man, I'm telling you now, the only ending for that stuff, dude, is dead, jail. That's it. There's nothing. You know what I mean? Like, and if
that's
you're living in a fog, like, because that's how my brain, like, I try to think back of how I did. Like, I just lived in a fog. Like, it was just like, and then the music and the rap music would brainwash you. And you're listening to music about dudes trying to kill her people. Like, what do you think you're gonna,
And you're already an angry kid or whatever. Like, on top of you
throw in some King Von or something. Back in the day we didn't have that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it wasn't the drill rap.
Point
luckily.
that I'm making. Thank God we didn't have that, but you know what I'm saying. It's just like I hope that it reaches somebody, and like, dude, I'm not on here to promote. Don't ever go to prison. Don't ever go through that stuff, man. It's a waste of life. It's a waste of time. You know what I mean? If it happens to you, it's an experience. You know what I mean? Try to gain from it and grow from it as much as you can. And like it takes some of us longer than other people to learn, man.
Late bloomers. Yeah, but hey, we're here, man. A lot of people didn't even make it this far, bro.
But I love seeing us guys that kind of like people had no hope for us, dude, and we're out here and we're doing it, dude.
Absolutely.
And we're fighting, and there's a good group of us that are doing it,
We gotta stick together, man. If there was like one thing you want somebody to get out of like hearing your story, like what would that be?
To keep fighting. Don't ever give up. Don't give up, man. That's the easy way, man. Don't give up. You gotta stay fighting, man. You gotta find something that, you love. If you don't love yourself, because that's the thing, a lot of people don't love themselves. A lot of people don't care about themselves.
No.
You gotta find something.
Absolutely, because I mean, me dealing with a lot of mental health stuff that I like have went through, like being like almost suicidal, but homicidal kind of, in a sense, bro. It's like I don't like it.
You went through a lot of depression. I know that, B. I know.
But it's all about dealing with it.
We handle it all differently. All of us. We're all different people. You know,
Yeah,
that's one thing.
absolutely.
When I was young, I never realized. I thought everybody thought like Mikey. You know, like everybody thinks like me. No, everyone don't think like you. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta...
And then like things you may do might hurt someone's feelings, and because it ain't gonna hurt your feelings doesn't mean it's not gonna hurt his.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's really what, like, it took so much though to catch on to things. I wish I caught on sooner. You know what I mean? Like,
For sure.
Fuck.
Absolutely.
It is what it is, though, you know.
Hey, man, and you managed to stay out as long as you have. So I guess if someone came home today, man, say, you know, God willing, JoJo came home today and he asked you, like, what advice, man? How do you do this? How do you stay free and all that? What is some advice you would give to somebody?
Stay busy. Keep a plan, man. Like they say, a man without a plan's a failed man. Have a plan, man, and just have a routine. Mm-hmm. We live off routine. Us guys that have always been, everything's a routine anyway. Not a routine like sleep until the afternoon, dude, or 1 o'clock, dude. Them days are done, you know.
Absolutely.
Like a routine, like going
Stay
to work,
busy.
man, having a job, working out, whatever feeds your hunger in a positive, active way. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because these rats are taking over out here. You're not, like I said, dude, you're not gonna get anything from doing any of that other stuff. Really.
I know, man.
You know, you might live great for, you know, meantime. It's like, what would you rather? Would you rather, like, have a couple years of your life and live crazy, like balling crazy, and then go do a stretch?
Right.
Or would you rather stay out a long stretch, man, and live your life kind of at a pace?
Exactly, yeah.
I prefer to live my life at a pace.
It's a turtle race, bro, man. It's a turtle race. So I guess if there was any last words, man, for the audience or something you wanted to touch on we didn't get a chance to, anything like that, here's a chance before I let you go, bro.
Man, stay positive, man. Ain't got nothing nice to say. Don't say nothing at all, man.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah, man. Keep that
Absolutely.
bullshit in, but that's all really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. That sounds good, man. Little, you know, stay positive. Little bit of love goes a long way, man. Little, like, show a little love. Hit that like button. Make sure you share it. Little bit, but same thing. Little respect goes a long way too out here, man. And anywhere in life, just a little bit of love, a little bit of respect. And guys, remember, it is what it is. What's next is what you make it.
Peace out, everybody, man. Take it easy, man.
Absolutely.
Keep
Thanks
striving.
again. Let's get it.
Ain't got a moment. When they see you down, just know they love it.
That feeling, you know, just gone. You're done, you're gone, you know what I mean?